When was the last time that you let yourself soften, to sink into stillness, to surrender to the present moment, no matter what it brings up, including in the painful and the difficult? We live in a world that is built on distraction, on numbing, on avoidance, both in us being with ourselves and how we're really feeling, as well as in us holding space for others, in being present to just sit with and listen to someone who is on their knees and roaring in their grief. And in today's episode of Death on the Daily, we are going to be diving into what I call my great softening. So this has been my journey into more stillness and more surrender. It's a journey, and it's certainly not a destination that I expect to get to and be like, yep, I'm a master in this by the end of my life. And the reason for that is this runs deep into us. This is societal. This is literally from the point at which we're a baby in the womb to being held in our parents' arms, to our school systems, to our work cultures, to just overall society. We've got real problems when it comes to us being hooked on toxic productivity, being hooked on social media and other things that just numb us out and take us away from just sitting and being with the painful. So as we go into this episode, I'd say, as always, flow with heaps of grace and heaps of compassion. Some of the ahas that you might get through Death on the Daily, they might make you go, oh, that's a bit uncomfortable. But that is where the magic is. We want to lean into that. And this is really my mission with Death on the Daily. How can we be present with ourselves, be present with how we're really feeling, be present with how we're feeling in our body, and unlock wisdom and insight that, yeah, some of it might be some uncomfortable truths that we need to hear. I've definitely had my fair share of them. But if we can lean in, and if we can listen, and if we can take action from that place, that is how we unlock so much clarity and really the opportunity to cultivate the conditions in which we can thrive in this life. And this episode is very much inspired by my recent conversation with Dr. Mekel Harris, whose work is all about softening through our grief, walking that forwards path with that gentle, compassionate capacity to just be with ourselves, to give ourselves that space to cocoon. So I thought we'd start with just a little bit about me before, and I'd say before and after softening. I'm definitely still on that journey, so I haven't definitely not arrived. But me before was definitely the I'm fine, plaster a smile on, everything's okay type person. And actually what that's done, if I connect into how it feels, and it still feels in my body because I'm still working on it, I'm still working on that, I'm fine patterning. And for me, a defining moment, that unraveling, was really when I found out that I have hypothyroid, which alongside the grief from a miscarriage was really the catalyst for me saying, what am I doing? And for me handing my notice in on what I'd previously thought was a dream career. I worked in Formula One. I was a head of marketing in the sport. What I'd always thought, that was the success that I was striving for. That was the path that I was going to continue walking. But at what cost? Because actually I realized that my journey had been one of being really unboundary through the whole of my corporate career, through the whole of my school time. School really teaches us to be unboundaried. But within that, I'd got stuck in a toxic productivity loop that just was keeping me going, keeping me a busy bee at all times, which took me away from really acknowledging, actually, I feel pretty down right now. I need some time. I feel sad. I'm grieving. I need space. And we've got some really toxic narratives in our society. If you think about people who are lauded for holding it together, for being strong. I've had this said to me so many times after our daughter died. You're so strong. And I receive it with the intention that it's shared. But actually, that version of strength is very much rooted in people seeing me when I am put together, when I am centered. It's not rooted in seeing me when I'm on my hands and my knees and I'm roaring in my grief. Even just 2 days ago, I was bawling my eyes out in bed with my husband holding me because my grief is so raw and visceral that it just erupts at any point. Now, past me would have wanted just to show the one side of things, but actually I can see now how crucial it is for us to show all of us in our vulnerability. Because actually for me, that is where our most courageous, most heart-centered, truest version of ourself is. And in my opinion, that is true strength. When we can say, actually, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay for me to not feel strong at all. It's okay for me to feel just effing terrible. It's okay for me to feel all of this, because all of this is the human existence. So I'm going to share a few reflection prompts as we flow through this episode. We're going to flow through it really softly. So I'd invite you, if you want to, grab your journal, grab a pen, or any piece of paper will do. And you can hit pause on this video if you want to journal with me now, or you can come back and all of the journal prompts are going to be in the show notes for you. So the first prompts that we're going to reflect upon in this, our great softening. Maybe it's the first step in your great softening. We start today with that reflection and then with that inspired action to soften. So the first prompt is, where am I currently soft in my life? And where do I need to slow down, find more stillness and more slowness? And whether you push pause just now, or if you're flowing through this video and you're going to be reflecting a little bit later on, actually, I wanted to reflect upon the fact that actually pushing pause is a soft behavior. The more that we can push pause in our day, just push that pause button, take a few breaths. That really is the key to our softening, connecting back into ourselves, seeing if we can find softness at those points where our shoulders are like this and we're super tense, but because we're just go, 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 we haven't even acknowledged it. And so next up, and before we push pause again, I thought, let's look at what softness really, really means. And softness isn't a weakness. Again, when we think of things that society has deemed as quote unquote strong, it leads us to that space of saying softness is a weakness, softening in and being still and allowing all your emotions to flow. Oh, that's weak. You need to pull it all together. But actually, that takes real courage to be with that which is difficult. Imagine that. Imagine facing into whether it's your grief, whether it's something that's just so raw and painful and difficult, or whether it's facing into other things that feel uncomfortable, like when we're furious about something, when something has happened that just has given us a punch in the stomach. It takes real courage to sit and to be with ourselves in those moments. So what this is really about allowing the pain and anything that's coming up to move through us instead of trying to control it, trying to push it away, trying to numb it. And what happens then is we journey through it. We don't bypass it. And this is so profound and so powerful, because actually, if we punch down our emotions, if we push away, if we bypass our grief or anything else that's difficult, it's going to get suppressed and it's going to come up at some point in our life when we least expect it. But actually, when we can allow stillness and time to just be, time to sit with it, what can happen is a really powerful alchemy. We can find a greater depth of understanding of ourselves. We might even surface some emotions that we've been really suppressing, or other feelings, other thoughts, or anything else that we've just been pushing into those shadowy spaces. We can bring them out of the shadows, and through that we can get some beautiful insights into our forwards path. Where do we need to go in this life, and how can the alchemy of pain help us to do so with more meaning and more connection? And crucially, when we bring this work of connecting into our pain, into our bodies, that really is the key for us in this connection. Actually, when we live in our minds can be really powerful to say, no, I'm not going there. When we can drop into our body, we can feel actually, what am I holding? Where am I stiff? Where am I not soft? Where am I tense? What's that tension saying? Where am I aching? What's my grief saying there? My ache in my heart. I'm always coming back to it. I'm always giving it space. It needs the space. It needs to feel. It needs to be expressed. And actually, softness in our nervous system can also be in being rested, in having mindfulness and beautiful practices that support our nervous system in finding more calm and more peace. So we're now going to go back into your personal reflections. For the first one, I just invite you to just put your hand to your heart connect into your body, or you can put your hand anywhere. You can put your hand on your belly, anywhere that feels right. You might like to close down your eyes as you do this and just connect into your body and just see, where in my body do I feel soft? Where feels soft, maybe where feels expansive. Where feels particularly still. You might like to observe where doesn't feel soft, maybe where feels a little bit tense, where it feels like it's holding some emotions. Could be sadness, could be that ache of grief, but it also could be that nervous and excited energy that we can get. Just connecting in. Notice what you notice. And if you want to now, what you can do is you can push pause. You can notice what you notice for as long as you want to. And again, grab your journal and just journal on it. What's coming up for you? What's your body saying? And then the next prompt that I wanted to share is, you're just going to close your eyes again. If you're able to do that, I appreciate this is a podcast, so you might be listening to it on the move. If so, this practice will be here for you to come back to later. And actually, even if you're on the move, you can still drop your awareness into your body. Obviously, do it in a safe way that's not going to take your eye off of whatever you're doing. But what we're going to do is connect into our bodies, and we're just going to listen. So again, just closing down your eyes, if that's comfortable to do so. For some people, it might not be comfortable, and you can just soften, lower your gaze. Just connecting into your body and just saying to yourself, I am listening. Just seeing if there's any messages that come up. Any wisdom from your body that you need to receive today. So that was literally just 5 breaths worth. And obviously, if you want to pause, you want to journal on this, capture that insight, please do push pause and soften. But that just shows the power in even these micro moments where we just find stillness. So now let's look at how softness has changed me and how I'm still going on this journey of finding awareness of actually when that hard shell is on me in full force. I've got that shield up. I'm numbing. I'm avoiding. I'm tensing up. I'm denying myself the truth of that inner wisdom to flow. And for me, what softness has really brought me is a greater presence with everything. In truth, I could do all of the YouTube yoga classes and different breath work and all of those things. But actually, for me, the key was finding space in stillness and in silence when I wasn't being guided. Actually, those times really, really did drop me much, much deeper into my sense of self and into that intuitive wisdom that's within me. So now let's look at how softness has changed me, as well as the journey that I've still got left to go for the rest of my life. And for me, really, softness has invited in a presence that has just changed everything. And really, the key to that is stillness. The key to that is stillness away from things that are, for example, guided on YouTube. It really has been, okay, I'm going to start with 1 minute, then I'm going to increase it up to 5 minutes to 15 minutes, where I'm going to, whether it's sit in silent meditation, whether it's just sitting and just staring at the sky, staring out to nature and literally just doing nothing, exactly as we humans have been doing since the dawn of us existing. But equally, I know when I still get closed, when I tense my shoulders up, when that shield of numbing and of avoidance is up again and it's in its full force. And really bringing awareness in has been so, so profound here to understand, what do I reach for when I'm numbing, when I'm avoiding, when I'm not being able to be with myself and reflect on how I'm really feeling. Social media is the biggest one. When I'm mindlessly scrolling on Instagram, I know that if it's for an extended period of time, I'm numbing. I am avoiding, and I call myself out on it so much. Is it easy to stop scrolling? Hell no. I've definitely got a social media addiction. But that awareness is that first step to then say, okay, I'm going to put my phone down. Oh, I'm still there 10 minutes later. I'm going to put my phone down again. Oh, no, I'm still there 10 minutes later. Okay, now I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to go and sit and I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to go into my inner world and I'm just going to be with myself, even just for 1 minute. So now we're going to push pause again with a couple of more reflection prompts. And the first one of this is, where do I resist? Where do I numb? Where do I avoid? And then ask yourself, what boundaries and practices can help to invite more stillness in? Remembering this can literally be, I commit to 30 seconds of stillness when I wake up, sitting in my bed, just taking a few deep breaths. So now, as we come towards the completion of this initiation of our great softening, I want to just share a few takeaways. And these are things that I've really learned and that I am continuing to learn. I'm a lifelong student in the art of greater presence, of greater stillness, of just doing nothing. So here are some key takeaways and lessons that I've learned along the way. Firstly, notice where your body is tensing up. For me, my jaw and my shoulders are the key ones, but also I feel it in my stomach when I'm really feeling anxious and when I'm denying something, my stomach starts churning. So remembering that actually when we think of the word soft and we think of softening in our body, that can literally be, how can I help my muscles to just ease down, to soften a little bit of that tension? And for me, it really is, it's breathing into those spaces. So I breathe into my jaw. And I just invite those muscles to soften. I maybe bring awareness up to other muscles on my forehead. Am I frowning? How can I invite those muscles to soften? My shoulders, how can I just drop my shoulders when I've been typing away and they're literally, it feels like they're up to my ears? Bringing gentle awareness in and inviting that softening can be so powerful, particularly at those moments when we're grieving, when we're hurting. I know that feeling where we're just so tense because it's all coursing through us. How can we be kinder to ourselves and invite just that gentle softening in our body? The second is, be still to allow your intuitive wisdom to come. And this one is really crucial. If you think about when we say, oh, I had the greatest idea when I was having a shower, it's because that might be the only time of day when you allow for that stillness and for that silence. So even if it's just for 1 minute, maybe see if you can then get it up to 2 minutes. How can you throughout your day just allow these little pockets of stillness? Allow that to be a window through to truth that already lies within you. When I coach clients, it's really from that place of, I'm not here to give you any answers. I'm here to support you in unlocking the wisdom that already lies within you. The answers are already inside you, but the reality is, in our fast-paced world, we just don't allow ourselves that space to really, truly listen to what our inner voice is saying. The third is something that actually my coaching clients absolutely love, and that is practicing your sacred no's. So sacred no's are those no's where you're saying no to going out for dinner with friends, to an event, to anything in life where actually when you connect into your body, and you both connect into your body from the perspective of honoring your energy, but also from the perspective of, do you really want to do this? What's that inner wisdom saying? Oh, it's a no. And actually saying no can feel harsh, which in itself doesn't feel very soft, but softness really is in honoring ourselves as much as we do. We move through life and we honor others, but ultimately that balance is often really out of whack, and we honor others way more than ourselves, to the detriment of ourselves, our energy, our health, as well as the space for us just to be and to do things that we really love. So softness doesn't mean saying yes to everything when inside it's a big old no. Softness really is about having the difficult conversations to say, actually, I'm not feeling this and I'm going to pass. Because in doing so, we honor ourselves with kindness and with boundaries that really, truly do speak to us. And so in a world that can feel so not soft, so hard, so harsh, I hope that as we come to the completion of this episode of Death on the Daily, that this can be your invitation to soften into yourself, as well as to allow the space for others to do the same. So I end every episode of Death on the Daily with my note to self. And today's is this: in a world of nonstop action and distraction, softness is a practice. It's a skill. It's a gift for me now and for me in the future. And if you've been journaling along, you might like to connect into yourself, or perhaps a past version of yourself, to write yourself a little note to self that you can then take forwards to give you all of that insight and that inspiration for your great softening that you can take into your forwards path. And so wherever you are in your journey, whatever is surfacing within you, however much space that you need right now, know that I'm here, that Death on the Daily and these dead conversations are always here with my care, my connection, and my support. And one final thing before we close out this episode: if you've loved this episode, if you love this podcast, if you wouldn't mind, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, leave a review, leave a rating, and spread the word by sharing this episode with someone who needs to hear it. That really is my mission through Death on the Daily. I want to get the word out there. I want to help us to find a more compassionate world through one connected conversation at a time. And wherever you are in your journey, whatever's surfacing for you, know that Death on the Daily and we're always here. And I'm sending you lots and lots of love. All of my gratitude to you for joining me for another Dead Conversation. Death on the Daily is edited by David Strutt. The music is Set Free by Katie Gray. And I am Tanya Wilkinson. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would be over the moon if you can rate, review, and subscribe. It really, really helps me to get the word out there. And if you want to say hi or to hear more about my work as a coach and death doula, including how I support my clients to navigate their death on the daily, then all of the ways that you can connect with me are in the show notes. I'll be back soon with some more Dead Conversations. And in the meantime, take good care of yourself and others.
There's a cold fire, there's a crossfire, and there's something inside, and we'll never make it.